Hi, my name's Alex Scholes, and on behalf of my company All Marine Services, based here in Fremantle, Western Australia, I'd like to welcome you to a series of videos on the restoration of a 1974 Halvorsen 70-foot motor yacht. I've got to be honest with you though, we did actually start this rebuild 2 years ago, and being that we're new to YouTube, we wanted to showcase this to the world, and as a result, we're going to be incorporating a lot of the photos that we've taken over the past 2 years, was about 3,000 to 4,000 of those, and quite a bit of video footage already. And you'll be able to see where we were, where we started, what we had to do to get the boat up to a standard that we could start a super yacht refit on, and where we are now. A couple of things too when we visit the yard is that we're going to have a lot of protection on a lot of the finishes. Okay, where I can take it off and show you I will, but we do have photos as well which we can incorporate to show you what the finish was like prior to putting the protection on, because we've still got probably another year and a half to go before we finalise the build. It's going to be an exciting journey and we want you to join us with that. And what I'd like to do now is I want to take you over to the drafting table so that I can show you some of the archive information that we have, or historical information we have on this vessel, as well as the new plans that we had done by Sam Sorgiovanni, who's a prominent naval interior designer for super yachts. Okay, so over here what we've got, this is the vessel that we're working on now. So this is how it looks prior to us starting. There's also two others, and I just want to point this out. This is another vessel which is based in Darwin, I believe now, and here's the other one, which is more of a patrol boat. So these three here were built at the same time in the same factory with all different decks on them. I just want to point that one out. So that's where we are there. Now, what I want to show you is this here, and this was literally done on a napkin that we then showed the owner, and he's going, oh, I love that, can we build it? So this is the same vessel, and that's how it's going to look when we're finished. So what we've done, as you can see, we've got rid of all the bulwark here, we've got rid of the bulk in the flybridge, we've also pulled the flybridge back, and we've got rid of the mast, and we've extended the back of the flybridge. So that's in essence structurally how it's going to look appearance-wise. We also got rid of the portholes in the engine room, and we've also changed all the portholes in the crew accommodation to round. So it's a lot more traditional to have round in the crew area and big windows in the owner's accommodation area. So as you can see, there's going to be quite a transformation that you're going to be able to come and have a look with us. All right? So I just want to show you those ones. Now, so here we are. This here is the original GA of the vessel that came out from 1974, which was on the vessel when we purchased it. You can see they're very similar to the photo that I showed you earlier. What we are going to be doing is we're going to do a new salon area and aft deck, which I'll show you in a minute. New galley, new wheelhouse. We're doing a new lounge on the foredeck. We're changing a lot of this ground tackle area here. We are leaving the V-berths in the bow, but we're going to obviously retrim everything there so it looks like new. Same with the captain's cabin. We're changing the layout of the bathroom, and we're going to put a laundry in the vessel. Down aft, we've changed the orientation here of the master stateroom. Bathrooms, again, they've all been changed, and the twin berth cabin. So I'll show you that in a minute in some of the plans. So it's going to look like a Halvorsen, but it's going to have a little bit more of a modern feel to it, but we still want to incorporate or include that traditional feel of a timber classic vessel. Now, another couple of things here, which were in the archives on the vessel, is books from, I can't actually read the date, but it's like handover notes and how to run the vessel. Later on when we get into it, I'll show you that everything was so primitive on here that the electrical system on the vessel was just a series of numbered circuit breakers, and you had to refer to a foolscap page as to what they actually did, and that's how it all was. So here's a lot of information in here. I was trying to find the dates in it, but I really don't know, but it looks pretty old. Then we've got, so maybe there's more in here as well. So it's all nice. There's a lot of plaques and things like that came in the boat too. So we've kept everything. We're going to try and do up like a big memory board thing when we've finished, and the owner might have that in his office or something like that at home, or we might put it in the wheelhouse. So that's where we're there. This was another old bit, which again, very similar to what I just opened up before. A little bit easier to see. It's another old one, but now the fun stuff is actually where we go from here. So Get rid of that. So what we've got is the start of our new design. So I'll show you this in a sec, but that's pretty much the general arrangement there. And we're going to start looking at some bigger scale plans. Just hang on a sec. Right, so the new salon area is going to be like this. So you come in through here off the main deck. We've got an L-shaped lounge here, some tables, scattered chairs. There's going to be a big cabinetry buffet along here, which will have the TV on a lift, bookcases, some lamps, cupboard space. We are changing a few things as we go, but I'll show you that when we get down on the vessel and in the series of videos to come. That's the lighting and deckhead arrangement that was drawn up. Again, the plan, the brief was actually, if you're looking at the ceiling or the deckhead on a vessel, these were going to be white, like clinker planks to keep that traditional feel in the vessel, and then broken up with some silky oak beams. This is the sections through here. The aft deck, we're actually going to have an electric sliding door. Okay, so you'll press a button, the door will open, press a button, the door will shut. It's a pretty neat idea. That's the railing going down to the aft accommodation, and this is looking forward towards the galley. There's another view or elevation of the dinette, the salon lounge, and here's the cabinetry I was talking about. So this one will incorporate the TV, which will come up. You've got some bookcases, table lamps here, and that's the window line there, the mullions and that. This is all going to be done in silky oak, which I'll show you a sample of shortly. This is another elevation looking through the cockpit. So this is a staircase going from the cockpit up to the flybridge. We are changing this. We're going to go to a single rail with teak treads, mainly to reduce the bulk in that area. And again, I'll explain that when we go down on the boat why we've done that. Here again is another elevation. So this is from the cockpit looking forward to the salon. This is going to be all solid teak and gloss finish, which is going to look, again, traditional, really, really smart. This is looking from the salon aft, so that's the lounge. We're going to go away from having a fixed table in there. We're going to have one that we can shift around because it's a lot easier to use. And again, there's the plan of the cockpit area. You can see there, obviously, the lounge at the back, staircase, and the bulkhead. Now, this one here, the owner's stateroom, obviously, it's the owner's cabin. So it's very important. But what we did, he wanted a king size bed. So we actually made a bed bigger than this, and we pulled the bulkhead back. So where we had this coming through here, we actually moved this back, and that allowed us to gain about another 4 inches, which then meant that we could get the bed in the size that he wanted. Here, what we had to do, we had to pull this bulkhead here closer in this way, which gave us more space here to get past, so that way you weren't sort of turning side on to go past the bed. You've got a hanging locker here, a little lounge here, bedside tables, and you've got a chest of drawers there. This is the passageway. There's going to be the galley, the head or bathroom will be here. So you've got the head, the sink, and the shower area. That's the elevation. So again, a lot of timber fit out. Again, it's got to be kept traditional. So we are putting a lot of timber, a lot of leather, very rich wood, very high quality fittings and corian and those type of finishes and leather. We're actually using goat hides for the bolsters in the bedrooms. So that's something I haven't used before. Pretty similar to normal leather, except it's a lot smaller, so you need more of it. We've got the lamps and what have you here. These are not going to happen because we've actually got stairs on the other side there, so they were going to be windows, but we've got big windows in the sides. Oh, there's just another one there. I'll show you. Okay, that's looking back from the owner's stateroom back towards the bulkhead. So you've got your hanging locker here, these are the doors. Everything on this vessel, I can't stress, it has to be custom made. So even something as simple as a door, that's made from raw stock. The door frames are made from raw stock. I think we had 27 doors and 27 times 2, 54 door frames, because you got an inner and an outer. All had to be made by hand, which would make up a jig. Incredible work, and you'll see that when we go down to the vessel, what the guys have been doing. It's just phenomenal. This is part of the bathroom. So what we're doing here is a stone finish on the bulkheads, silky oak, more stone, corian. I'll show you some samples of that in a minute. This is another elevation. So this is the bed, the chest of drawers or bedside drawer. That's the bedside. These are the chest of drawers. This here we've changed. In practice it didn't look right. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to do a silky oak window box here, and then we'll do some planking to incorporate that clinker feel, which will go right through here. And rather than do that in a painted white, we're going to be doing that in a silky oak. It'll be high gloss finish too. So we've been experimenting with a few things. So what happens is the designer does it, and then when we go down on the boat, it doesn't quite work, or the size of the space is not quite right. So we have to change things, and that's pretty normal. Or the owner decides he wants to change something, which again is pretty normal in this industry. That's looking the other way. Just look through these, you've sort of seen plenty of that. That's the bedside there again in the owner's stateroom, hanging locker. This is the galley, probably more of a fun area on the vessel. So with this one here, this is all black. It's sort of the new white, I suppose. So we've got a massive 710 litre fridge freezer going in here with a door over it so you don't see it from through here. We've got high quality cooktop, oven underneath, we've got a microwave above, double sinks, dishwasher here. We've got above and below cupboard space, and you've got a big window here to look out. And on this side here, originally there was a dinette here, like a little one that, you know, would be good for the captain to sit there and read a book or have his lunch and that sort of thing. Because of the engine ventilation system that we've now designed, we couldn't do this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a breakfast bar through here with some stools that go underneath, and that's going to allow people to sit here and have a coffee, read the paper and look out through the window. So we've sort of changed it, but I think we've actually improved that. This is an elevation of the galley area, so there's the door through to the wheelhouse, the fridge, and you've got your bench top here, oven, hot plate, microwaves over the top, the sink, and then this is looking at the sink the other side there. There again is another sectional elevation. I'll just go through these because they're all pretty much the same now. This is the wheelhouse. This is the other sort of the office of the vessel. So this is an area that has to be done really, really well. A lot of thought has to go into it, which we have done with regards to visibility out through the windows, looking at the bow area there, the sun coming in through the windows, the overhang of the brow, where your instrumentation is all going to go. And colours are really important because you don't want to get a lot of glare and stuff like that coming in, especially at night for your night vision as well. This will be a teak and holly finish here. We've actually changed this again at the owner's request. He wanted a larger bench seat here, so we've actually run this from here right through to this side here. We managed to do that. If you have a look here, you'll see that the footrest was almost halfway through the doorway, the access to go in and out of the wheelhouse. So what we did again, there was a feature here. We've pulled that out and we've managed to get that back to there. So we pulled about 4 inches again out of that with getting rid of some of the feature stuff on the back bulkhead, which really was a nothing anyway to do that. So we managed to give the owner what he wanted. We've got his big bench space. Underneath here is chart drawers. And on this side here, we did have a fridge, but what we've done is we've taken the drawer units from here and put over to here because we do need more drawer space. Here's the elevation now. So that's the access down to the forward accommodation. You've got a nice feature here with the helm area. This will be the subboard here, the main electrical panel, which is fairly common on boats. This is the lounge. As I said, this here has now gone over to here. That fridge will go to the cockpit. Well, actually, sorry, that's going to go up to the flybridge, so we'll have 3 up there. So we pulled this out. There was like a feature thing in here, so we removed all of that. That allowed us to pull the lounge back. We can go further over, and then the chart drawers go right across now with the footrest. So it's all going to work. It actually looks really, really good. So we're pretty happy with that. So, like I said, we've been into it 2 years. We've built a lot of this already, so you will see it shortly. There's another elevation. So basically what we're looking at here was to make sure when the average person can stand here and actually see over all of this. That's wrong. That was just how the designer did it, but we've changed that. I'm not that tall and I can stand here and I can see straight over all this and see right through to the bowsprit, which is what you need to do. This is just another elevation looking the other way. So with that, what I want to do is I want to show you some of the samples of the finish that we're actually going to do in the vessel. The brief was to do a silky oak veneer finish inside the vessel. So the main wood theme is silky oak. This is how we get it, and it's like this, right? Very brittle. You can see it breaks quite easy, and that's sort of the finish. Now, initially, the designer wanted us to do a satin finish with lime wash, and we really didn't like that. We did a couple of samples, and it didn't look the best. So what we decided, again, keeping with the theme of high luxury colour, is this here. Now that's silky oak, and that's what they call a filled gloss finish, and it has a little bit of a, I don't know if the camera can see that, it's like a hologram effect, which looks incredible. So that was just a sample panel that we did, and you'll see our paint shop down there, and that's what Ricky's engaged in doing. So a couple other things. So we're going to be, I mentioned that we're doing goat hide. So this is the goat hide. It's got a totally different texture to normal calf leather. So that's going to be the bed base, the bolsters in the bedrooms. This is all the gloss finish. A lot of the fittings are going to be chrome polished stainless. And I can't stress enough that with this build, everything is to the highest standard. I mean, these are sourced in Italy. They're chrome plated brass, they're not plastic. That's black chrome, which we use in the galley. And again, metal, it's all quality stuff. In the bathroom, we're talking about stone. What you're going to use is this product here. That's called laminate. It's porcelain. So it's like a tile. This one even getting 3 mil. So we can actually use that for cladding over the bulkheads, the walls in the vessel. And we're going to use a corian that's very, very similar to that. So that's pretty much going to be the colours that are going to be going into the bathroom area. And then for the other areas, so the main deck, so you're looking at the salon, the galley, the wheelhouse, we're going to be using a dark corian. We're going to be using this. This is a lustral fabric that we get, and you have a look at the texture of that. It's actually vinyl, but it's got like a texture like fabric, but it is vinyl. So we're going to be incorporating that. We've got this. We've also got this corian for downstairs. So in the accommodation, we're going to be using this corian in the bedrooms with this vinyl in the deck head. Above on the main deck, we're going to be using the dark corian again with this, and that's about all. I did have a lot of samples. We actually fitted them all on the boat, so when we go down there I'll be able to show. Okay, so hopefully now you have an understanding of the colour schemes and the finishes that we're actually going to be incorporating into this build, as well as the design brief. And so moving forward, when we are down on site, you now know what we're looking at.